It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here, and we're back for another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment breakdowns and commentary. Today, we're going to be getting into the Joe Budden and Scottie Beam kerfuffle beef, ongoing issue that they have. Some of y'all may not really know who Scottie Beam is. We're going to get into who she is, her origin, where she comes from, and all of that good stuff. How she ended up getting into this little skirmish or back and forth with Joe Budden. What's been said, because there's been some mud slinging. And for what I know, a lot of this is really centering around Diddy, right? So unfortunately, even though we're kind of fearing from the Diddy investigation, house raid, Homeland Security issue, whatever problems that Joe Budden and Scottie Beam had bubbling under the surface has now risen to our awareness. Because, I mean, she's been talking about him. He's made comments about her as well on his podcast. So it's not that they've been completely silent, but they never really went all the way up until things went a little left for Diddy. All right. So first thing that we're going to get into is the original tweet from Miss Scottie Beam. She says, LMFAO, nigga was going to beat me up for not calling Jussie a gay slur when we didn't have all the info, but Homeland Security at his homie house and it's quiet. Now, of course, she didn't say his name, but everybody that follows Scottie Beam, they already know her issues with Joe. It's very apparent, and everybody knows what happened on State of the Culture when it came to Jussie Smollett and his situation. I'm not going to get into all that because he's still trying to figure his future out. Wish him all the best in that. Salute to you, right? But there were a lot of people on Twitter caping and coming from Miss Scottie Beam for saying what she said because they knew that she was talking about Joe. And she followed up and said, now let's see the quote-unquote media personalities do their job now. I've been doing my motherfucking job. I've been on my shit ever since this came out. You know what I'm saying? I've been keeping up with what's going on. I'm giving y'all daily updates. I'm letting y'all in on the scoop. Y'all giving me a little bit of the scoop on some of these people that's named in there that I ain't really know too much about. You know what I mean? It's a little give and take that we got going on here, and I greatly appreciate it. We appreciate it over here inside the industry. You know what I mean? You know, so she put that out, and a lot of people were wondering, like, oh, snap. How is Joe gonna react? Well, Joe reacted. Did Joe react? He kind of went further than I really expected him to, if I'm being honest. You know, and the whole thing was, she was basically stating that he was going to continue to be silent about Diddy because he has been very quiet about Diddy in the previous months with all of the different allegations that have been put out there. You know, he's kind of been saying peace and blessings. He wanted to wait and get more information, and he doesn't want to jump out the window and just go in on this black man, this black billionaire, this person that everybody loves, all this good stuff. That's not what he knows him to be, all that, you know what I mean? The bullshit that the niggas do to stay in proximity of the people that they want to continue to fuck with, you know? Well, he did come out and say some things, and we're going to get to that as well. But first, I want to get to what he had to say to Scottie Beam directly, just letting it be known how he feels about her because it was quite flagrant, but perhaps it was needed as well because it seemed like he'd been waiting to get this off his chest for some time. Joe, what you got to say, brother?
The only main concern, man, or to Twitter/X's HBCU black feminists, lived with my mom for most of my life, lack real life experience, the ability to critically think, nuance, context, or the ability to form.
I mean, this nigga he's calm as shit, but he going the fuck in already. Like, calling her feminist, black Twitter, HBCU, live with my mom, no real world experience, can't come up with an original thought without other people influencing it. I mean, he's like the chopper loaded with the silencer on it. He got the potato on that bit, but he letting that shit ring.
An original thought.
That thing got a wagon.
Whoever that may apply to out there, I love when black media calls black media to the carpet. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Some of that was just foolishness. Why would I be expected to make a remark about anything Puff related 2-3 hours after it all transpired? That's foolishness.
That part I do agree with. You know, despite his connection to Diddy, all that stuff, his podcast only drops a couple times a week. If it's not on the day or the day after the issue has taken place, why would he be speaking immediately? What's he gonna do? Go on Instagram Live and be like, hey, yo, they're at Diddy house. Nigga, they got inside the industry for that. He could take the day off. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you brought him to the carpet. So let's keep rolling this thing out.
Didn't get that.
And I think some of the bitterness from Shorty comes from whatever transpired during our time at Revolt. But one, I fired you for all of those reasons that I just named. And I'm sick of good, black, successful men getting their backs kicked in by regurgitative Twitter.
Damn.
By you people that just read shit and say it, which was the downfall at the gig. Not only did I fire you, though, that show is non-existent. I'm no longer at Revolt or do anything Revolt related. So that's just a weird thought that my name should come up as you're looking for people to address. That's all. It's just odd. And whatever tension that existed because of your Jussie Smollett take, it happened already and it's over with. Like, we should be past that. I don't speak on you in an ill manner. I would expect to not be spoken about in an ill manner, especially with all of those extra hours of face and phone time that me and rest in peace Andre Harrell put in trying to figure out a way to further develop you or pull greatness out of you, and we were just unable to, and both of us are great. So what the fuck do that say about you?
Damn.
We just couldn't get it out. That was me. Mad times in there, early in the morning.
Damn. Trying to pull greatness out of you and we couldn't do it. We had endless conversations on the horn. What's going on with this girl? She's uncomfortable. She can't get it right. What can we do? Damn.
Niggas don't never tell the full story. Trying to help you feel comfortable. Trying to help you get thoughts out. Trying to help you succeed at your job. Nepotism aside, you've been put in position plenty of times to succeed and make your voice impactful outside of a Twitter or X upload. There's this new crop of y'all out there that never lived, never got any real life experience and can't talk through something because you just read it and that becomes the bulk of your brain. And that don't work in the content space sometimes. Furthermore, I refuse to have my back kicked in by somebody who couldn't walk in a fucking heel when we worked together.
Damn.
That might have been some of your first time having your face beat with a good beat. That was some of your first time even wearing certain clothes because you were so uncomfortable with your fucking self.
Damn.
Who the fuck are you to keep speaking on a nigga like me? Big.
Hey, man. Some people you just gotta leave alone, man. Especially because you know they gonna say what they gonna say and they gonna come to you with the heat. She should have let this nigga be. She should have let him figure out what he was gonna say about Diddy. Be politically correct. Be PC about it. Cause the nigga got the golden PP7 on your ass right about now. Damn.
Me. All of these years fucking later, it comes off a certain way. It's unnecessary, unwarranted, and there's no place for it today. I hope that everybody finds peace.
That's peace.
Then hit your ass with the peace and blessings. Oh, man.
That's peace.
I hope that everybody gets the healing that they need.
That's health. That's health.
And keep my fucking dick out of y'all mouths, man, before I start coming in here and telling the truth about some of y'all. Y'all stay in your little respective weirdo corners of the internet and let me stay in my little weirdo parts of the internet. My weird ain't compatible with y'all's weird. Leave me be.
Well, there you have it from Joseph Budden. All right. Just letting the shit fly. You know what I mean? And I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him shooting off the hip because it's only so much you're going to let people talk about you. It's only so much you're going to let somebody that you personally know sling mud at you, throw you under the bus, do all of that. And you kind of let them get their shit off. I've been in that position before where you're just like, man, you know I could air you out, but for some reason you think you want to come play with me. I'm not the nigga to play with. I'm very observant. My memory is pretty solid. I can come up with plenty of occasions where you was doing questionable shit or whatever's going on, but I'm the nigga you want to come play with. All right, let me put my balling shoes on because I'm going for 60 today, and then I'm retiring back to the motherfucking couch. All right. So that's what I believe that we've got there. But we're going to get a little bit more into their history, their background, and why things are so tense between the two. So going back to this Jussie Smollett thing, here's what Joe had to say when his encounter or whatever went public and him and Scottie Beam and others on the State of the Culture show seemed to be a little bit at odds. It was Joe, it was Scottie Beam, it was Jinx. Shout out to Jinx. Shout out to Scottie Beam too. And Remy Ma, of course. So here we have this.
Do not play with the fears of oppressed people, because that's what this sounds like to me. I want to make sure that I'm not being as insensitive as I'm known to be, because he got his beat, but get their beat all the time. Now, our heart goes out when you start talking about hate crime and gay crime. But if the story comes out that says he went out to buy some and got his ass beat.
You think that's what happened?
We not just.
I don't think that what they saying happened is what happened. I'm waiting to see footage. Just show me footage, and I'ma shut the up.
So that was Joe's take, and everybody had to clear out the lane and let him go ISO on that one because nobody was really gonna push back. We saw Jinx push back a little bit, like, you really think that was what happened? The blank part was some bussy, I think he said, or something like that. I don't know, but I think that's what he said. And of course, there was a much larger discourse that they got into from there. That video has been wiped clean from Revolt's episode, State of the Culture and everything like that. So I can't necessarily get that footage. I'm glad I was able to get that snippet of the conversation that they had. So it goes back to about 2019 when all of that hit the streets, and they haven't been on good terms since then. All right. Now, again, for my people that don't know who Scottie Beam is like that, you know, she used to go by Deani Digital. That's how I first found out about her, when she was with Hot 97. I think she was like a producer up there for Ebro and them, you know. So she's originally from the Bronx. She is the daughter of a legendary media personality by the name of Shayla Scott. She's worked at WBLS out there in New York, which, you know, with Joe talking about nepotism, he's basically alluding to her mother's relationships in the radio business as to how Scottie Beam got put on in this space to begin with, and how she continues to find herself with different opportunities coming at her feet, because in different places where she's gone, it's not like her shows have really blown up to super, super big heights. But, you know, it is what it is on that level. I don't know how she's gotten by, but a lot of people like her. A lot of guys thirst after her, you know, and that's a whole nother thing within itself, right? But she previously co-hosted the Black Girl podcast, and she also had a show called Okay Now Listen, which I think may be her current show, if I'm not mistaken, with Radio, Issa Rae and all them. So she began her radio career first working for Kiss FM Street Team. Then she went to Hot 97, as I stated. She did attend Clark Atlanta for a brief moment there, but then she went back to New York to pursue a career in music. She worked as a digital producer for Columbia Records, then returned to Hot 97 to produce shows for Angie Martinez and then for Ebro in the Morning. She couldn't seem to fit in at Ebro in the Morning very well either. Her opinions, her kind of, you know, I wouldn't say woke perspective, but, you know, this kind of black militant feminist perspective that she had didn't seem to really jibe and gel too well with the show. She ended up getting up out of there, and they brought in someone else to fill her spot. After that, took a dive. She went out and did her own thing. You know, like I said, she went and started Black Girl Podcast. She also went to work at State of the Culture at Revolt. I believe it was Joe Budden who reached out and made it a thing for her to come on the show. I think he believed in her. I don't know, but I believe that's the case. And things just didn't work out there. It didn't work out for none of them because the show never returned after one season. Or was it 2 seasons? A season and a half, maybe. From there, she's worked as a model for Nike, Foot Locker, and North Face. And again, she's known for speaking on issues related to black women, such as colorism and all of those different types of things, which we need that in this space. You know what I mean? We do need black women's issues to be spoken about, and we need black women to be able to stand up for them. But I think there's also a nuance for when you're somebody that comes out and speaks on behalf of the culture or on behalf of a group of people, that you got to know when and where, how to do these things. You know what I'm saying? Those that really excel in those spaces, you got to know how to have fun. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Takes a lot to really excel in that space, because at any moment you can go down, and the niggas that you fighting for, the culture, they're not going to go with you. They're going to discard your ass and be on to the next thing. We see that all the time. All right. So from there, she worked, she hosted Netflix's Rhythm and Flow after show. I talked about Rhythm and Flow yesterday with that girl that dissed Megan Thee Stallion. Moving on. In April 2020, it was announced that Scottie would co-host a bi-weekly podcast with BuzzFeed journalist Sylvia Obell called Okay Now Listen, sponsored by Netflix's Strong Black Lead Initiative. All right, so that was a show that they did. It got support from Netflix, and it got canceled in 2022. So now we've got, as of July 2023, Scottie co-hosting her second podcast with Sylvia called The Scottie and Sylvia Show, produced by Issa Rae's production company Radio. So there we have it. So when Joe says you've had numerous opportunities to try to make your voice effective, heard, known, and important, meaningful in the culture, that's what he means. You know, she's gone from different shows or different places where she's had the opportunity to take the reins and become, you know, a more highly recognized or respectable, or, you know, whatever you want to put next to that, podcaster or personality, but it just hasn't seemed to catch on for her. You know what I mean? She keeps getting jobs. She stayed with a gig. You know what I mean? It's not like people don't like her, but she just hasn't fulfilled what some would believe was greatness in the space, right? You would think she would be like one of those premier black women in the podcasting space, sort of like how so many people were following that B Simone podcast where her best friend and then shit fell off. You would think somebody like a Scottie Beam would be at that level where, you know, people just excited to see what's going on next, right? Or even like see, the thing is with Mandy and Bridget, that fell apart, and it's a lot of turmoil coming on that because there's a lot of fans that were behind that, right? Or the horrible decisions that Mandy's got, or whatever the case may be, right? But we haven't seen Scottie excel to those same heights. I don't know why. Maybe it's because she no longer wanted to be a media personality like that. She took a lot of breaks. You know what I'm saying? She did a lot of self-discovery, decided, oh, damn, I really do got a fat ass. And next thing you know, she wants to post it all over Instagram. That's your prerogative. Hey, do what you do, you know? But just know, for all of us, the decisions we make reflect what comes next. So that's the background on her. You know, Joe says he fired her from State of the Culture, so there's definitely bad blood there. And today, Scottie Beam came back with some more scathing words. Okay, we're gonna get to it, because they going back and forth, and they slinging mud, baby. I'm talking about mud. I'm talking about that shit in Lil Wayne cup when they asked him what's in my cup, and he said that whatever what's in my cup is what's in my cup. I'm talking about that mud, baby. So she comes and says, lying is insane, but expect it from a drug addict, especially when Andre Harrell called to apologize on your behalf for your inappropriate, aggressive actions with me on set. And that's why I left. Clean it up, coke whore. She called the nigga a coke whore and a drug addict. He says, constantly trying to be aggressive and weird to women is not okay. Clearly there is a pattern. I don't care what narrative you spin from this. I just have to be honest. She came back again and said, and I'll talk about it when I'm ready. That's it. So she didn't go into full detail on her experience, but that's what she had to say in response to Joe Budden. I don't think this is over with. She said she's going to speak about it when she's ready. It may take a month. It may take 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, however many years it takes. One thing you're going to know for sure, when she jumps out the window, Joe's going to be right there with his parachute saying, I'm jumping too, goddamn, and I'm going to jump further than you. We could go to the goddamn track and field and do the long jump if you want to. I'm ready. Let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. Become an insider. Quit playing with me, y'all. More content to come. And I'll see y'all along on the next one. All right? Much love and respect. Y'all enjoy y'all evening. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. But I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.